But yeah, so that's what we have going on. So let's shift second gear into part 2 of the Heaven Hill strike.
All right.
So I'm going to pull up comments because I said that I would last time. But I want to note that this started September 10th. We were recording in the evening of September the 21st. So that's 11 days of
strikeage.
I listened to a few other things talk about it and haven't really heard anything new. So I'm going to go off our comments and some of the stuff I wrote down. One thing, we mentioned shareholders, family owned is what I'm being told. So only the family's getting the profits, which is a fun thing to think about. But the most important thing that was said to me the moment of, like as soon as we posted it, this was one of the first DMs I got was, I don't even know if it was a comment. It was a comment. Was that their health insurance was canceled day 1 of the strike. And so this is what Heaven Hill said. They said, your current coverage will be reinstated as soon as the work stoppage has ceased, concurrent with the ratification of the new contract, and you have returned to work.
Wow.
During these times, it's a little difficult to just taste, you know, I don't know. That doesn't seem like they really want to meet in the middle.
Yeah, that's tough. I understand. I put my business hat on, and I understand a contract is a contract, right?
Yes.
And if you're no longer working for me and you no longer have an agreed upon contract with me, then I owe you nothing. At the same time, I believe in business, especially corporate business, there's got to be some room for being human.
They should also, as much as they preach family-owned, all these distillers preach family-owned, family-owned.
Yeah.
That's not really something, or family-owned, family-ran, or however family-owned, but only the family profits is really what people are telling us. And it seems as though you're not really their extended family. They don't treat you like family. Because you wouldn't do that to family, even if they were contracted. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say.
It's hard, man. It's not an easy... We can sit here and give our opinions all day long from behind these microphones, but...
Well, I mean, 400 people health insurance, that's probably not cheap.
No.
Well, I know it's not cheap because I can see what my employer pays for my contract, what they pay for healthcare. But I think it's the principle of the matter more than it is the financial side of it.
I agree. So some of those people, like we talked about, have been there for 40 plus years.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think when you're dealing, and let's also, it's a union, right? You're dealing with unionized laborers and workers, employees. There has to be some understanding of how these things work. And there's a potential for a strike if there's not an agreement. And so then it seems to me that somebody, whether it's the union or whether it was Heaven Hill, maybe they didn't think this all the way through. I think
that I think Heaven Hill probably forgot the fact that hopefully all of these people are going to come back.
Yeah,
and that was kind of my leaning of it. Is I get it, it's business, but if you want these people to come back, which you do, because they're your skilled workers. I mean, think how hard it would be to train another 400 people to do the job. So you want them to come back. So why would you? I mean, that just seems like a little.
Yeah, like I think maybe and again, we're playing Monday morning quarterback for lack of better terms. But if I'm sitting on a board and I'm saying, okay, 400 people are gonna strike, and all those people are losing their health insurance, but we want them to come back. We want them to agree. Maybe we extend a bit of an olive branch. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the union has some way to cover that as part of their dues because they collect dues for these kind of things. I don't know what that covers, but
no one mentioned that. Let's go through the comments real quick. So it says, we've worked 7 days a week off and on for the time I've been employed there going on 18 years. It's not the working weekends we're against. It's the not getting overtime pay for working those weekends. And one of the other comments, which I wrote this down because I want to talk about it, was the guy said you would work like a normal 5-day schedule, 5 days, but you would get Tuesday, Wednesday off or Thursday, Friday off or Wednesday, Thursday off. You wouldn't get Friday, Saturday or Saturday, Sunday off.
Ever?
That's, I didn't.
Well, I get it. I guess I'm just thinking
I'm just going off the comments we got and the little bit more that I've researched. One guy says record year in sales for the month of March 2020 and March 2021. Record sales for the year of 2020. They cut off our insurance. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you for the support. If you do a follow-up. The workers on strike have all had their health insurance canceled, and yes, their hourly pay is significantly less than the competitor distilleries in the region. Which one thing I wanted to say, there was a comment that was deleted.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wish people wouldn't delete comments.
I would. Yeah,
I understand. Like when sometimes you're in the heat of the moment, you type something out, and you're like, and you delete it. Like I've done that before too.
Yeah, I do.
But sometimes they're needed to force people to look at a different side of a situation.
Right. So I won't say this guy's name because I honestly didn't write it down. But we had gotten the response, and I was formulating a response to the response. So he was kind of complaining about some other things. But one of the things he said was, everybody keeps saying fair. What does fair mean? And my rebuttal that we talked about was, that's a subjective term. What's fair to me is not fair to you, is not fair to someone else.
Sure.
So fair wages was what he was particularly talking about. If 96% of the company says these aren't fair wages, then I would say that they need fair wages.
Sure.
What that number is none of my business. You don't want your neighbor to know what you make. You don't want people to know. That's nobody's business. But to the people that are on the ground doing the work, what's fair to them is not what they're getting.
Right.
So that's kind of the answer. I don't like. There isn't a number to assign to fair.
Someone also brought up the point that this was they're not the least paid distillery, but they are the least paid union.
Yeah, in that region, which has been verified multiple times. Yeah, that was the other side of that. That's probably what the reason he deleted it was, for that part.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's, as you said, there are a lot of things to consider when determining what is fair. Yes. Are you comparing what you're making to other places where there's not a union? Because that's not a fair comparison. That's a different work environment.
Right.
When you show up and you can, and I don't know what the Kentucky labor laws are, but I understand that as a union member, you show up to work and you can't just be fired because they don't want to have you there anymore.
Right. Which for
South Carolina, for example, is a right to work state. So I can show up to work tomorrow, and if they just decide they don't like the color shirts that I wear on Tuesdays, they can find a reason to fire me, and they don't have to provide justification. I
mean, that's why the jobs that we take,
I'm sure some attorney's going to tell me that's not a correct explanation.
Yeah, we get it.
But you understand.
It is a right to work, will to work state, and that you can be fired for literally anything. So some jobs pay more than others due to that.
Sure.
Enough about that. The other thing I wanted to say, cuts to overtime, the drastic scheduling. So this is what Matt Aubrey, the president of Local 23D, these are his 3 points. So healthcare price spikes that reduce take-home pay, cuts to overtime, drastic scheduling changes, work 5 days, have 2 days off, but non-traditional schedules, which was that Tuesday, Wednesday off.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the biggest gripes I saw in some of the comments in the articles, is that folks are talking about this impact to their families.
Yeah.
Right? Ball games on the weekends with the kids, family trips. Like, it's really hard to plan that when a lot of the world revolves around Friday evening football games, Saturday and Sunday off, and you're taking that away from folks who've maybe been used to working that way for 20 or more years.
Right.
And now suddenly they have to change the way that they've structured their lives.
Yeah, I agree. The other thing too is scabs, just to go over the term because a lot of people haven't heard it. So they've brought scabs in. Scabs is it's just someone who works for a company while the workers are on strike. And there's, it's just people making money, maybe give them a little break. I understand. I read things that y'all were booing at them and stuff. I get it. Frustrations are high. Just remember, people are people. I don't really know where my opinion is on that, but I hope that this all gets resolved quickly, is my point.
Yeah, me too.
I hope it gets resolved quickly. And historically, unfortunately, the bigger guy usually wins, which sucks, but I hope it gets resolved quickly. I mean, good luck to y'all. And thank you guys for reaching out and telling us, setting it straight in some of the stuff and leaving comments.
Yeah.
And we still stand with you. There's still no Heaven Hill products in here, and I haven't bought any.
And continue to, shoot us messages as things change. We'll provide little updates. It's interesting to us, and I know we've had several listeners reach out and extend sort of their support and their interest in what's going on as well. So
we've had a lot of feedback on it. So if you want us to keep everybody updated, just let us know. Let us know. No problem doing it.
Yep.